Hello, welcome to Radio Pulse, the sound of NUS. I'm Shamimi. Oh my god, I forgot my name.
And I'm Pritpal. Thankfully, I remember my name.
And today we have a very special guest on FaceTime with us. Hi.
Hello.
Hi guys.
This is Andrea, and if you guys don't know who Andrea is, but you've been around the circuit and you've seen, for example, Sam Smith live, you've seen the script, you've always seen this very beautiful, talented girl singing, opening up the show for them. That's Andrea.
Woo!
Are we right to say that though?
Yeah.
Is that you? Am I talking to the wrong person?
Yes, that's me.
All right. Would you like to tell us more about yourself? Like, who is Andrea, and describe yourself in a sentence, maybe.
So, I'm 17. I'm Irish Filipino, and I'm a singer-songwriter. There we go.
Wow, she's 17 years old. Just
17.
saying. It makes me feel so old, you know.
Right.
Okay. Let's get this rolling. So we know that you've been touring with Sam Smith across the region at the moment.
Yeah.
I think this tour has ended already, or
No,
is it still going
I
on?
have one more gig on the 28th in Bangkok.
Ooh,
Oh, there you go. So she's
28.
still on tour with Sam Smith, by the way.
Right.
So how has that experience been so far?
It's been really amazing, actually. Like, it's an experience that I want, like, everyone to experience one day in their life. Like, the adrenaline you get whilst being on stage performing is just absolutely amazing. And Sam Smith is literally, like, the nicest guy ever, so...
I mean, I was actually there for the second night
right.
of Sam Smith's concert here in Singapore, and I watched you, and I was there early, so I managed to catch you perform, and oh my god, you were amazing.
Thank you so much.
And by the way, I really love that red romper that you put on.
Oh my god.
It was so cute.
Thank you.
I'm quite
I
jealous
was
right
freezing,
now.
but it was worth it.
Yeah, it was really cold in the stadium. Other than Sam Smith, from what I know, you've
Yes.
also opened for the script and other bands as well, if I'm not wrong, across Europe or US. I can't remember, somewhere along.
It was in the UK, and it was for a boy band called Road Trip.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. I remember that. I remember seeing that on your Instagram. I think you were on
Yes.
tour with them. Yeah. So how do you feel touring with these artists and having to play all these sold out shows and stadiums and stuff?
I feel really privileged to have the opportunity to perform in front of everybody, and I'm also really nervous. Like, before I get on stage, like, all my nerves just build up and I start like freaking out. But then as soon as I get on the stage, it's all chill. It's good vibes when I'm on stage. But yeah, I just feel really honored and privileged to have such an amazing opportunity.
I mean, you go up on stage and sing to like thousands of people.
That's
I get nervous
true.
just by calling people on the phone. So
Yeah. That was just like 5 minutes ago.
yeah, and you're only like 17, right? 17 years
Yeah.
old, which
Yeah.
like to us it's mind blowing that you're so
Right.
young and you've like, accomplished so much already. But like, does it feel surreal knowing that you're so young yet you've already had so many opportunities and
Yeah,
to showcase your music, especially to like such a wide audience?
definitely, it is really nerve-wracking, and especially being only 17. But I think it also allows me to grow as a person, and it really like matures me. So I think in a way, like, I don't think it's a disadvantage being really young. And of course, I don't have as much experience as obviously a lot of people that are slightly like older than me. But I don't think of it as a disadvantage.
It definitely isn't a disadvantage. I swear. If it's anything, right, you're getting a head start ahead of everyone
definitely.
else.
I'm having a taste of what music industry is like and what performing is like. So it's been really good.
And you've got like all these experiences from
Yeah.
not just Singapore, like within the region, but also in like the UK and stuff like that, right? So like you get a taste of what's the music industry like everywhere else.
Yeah, exactly, because it's definitely different in Asia and in the UK, so it's opening my eyes.
Right.
For sure.
What do you think are the prominent differences when you perform, like, say, in Asian country or
I
compared
think
to
it's
the
just
UK?
like this. I think like it's just the way the crowd reacts to
Right.
an artist and their music. Because I performed for Road Trip, and Road Trip are a boy band, so
Yeah.
like the One Direction.
Yeah.
And the girls I had to perform to were teenage girls that were like completely in love with them, and it was a great experience because I sang more upbeat and fast tempo songs. Whereas when I was in Asia, I had the ability to sing my own songs and sing more of like a chill singer songwriter vibe. So
Right.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so let's move on to like the more music part of like this interview. Yeah. So, what are some of your influences, like in terms of writing music, your creative process, or like people you emulate?
Well, I guess like the creative process in my mind is something that's really simple, but when I try to explain it to people, they sort of have no idea what I'm talking about. But I'm gonna try explain it in the best way I can. So I sort of just every time I write a song, it's based on a personal experience that's either happened to me or someone really close to me. For example, like Best Friend was about my best friend, and although it impacted me, it was about her. So something had to happen in my life, and then I sort of just channeled all that emotion that I had towards that experience and wrote that into a song. And I sort of just grab my guitar or piano, strum a few chords, and then just sing whatever's on my mind. And then that sort of just turns into a song.
She makes it sound so easy.
I know, right? Because
it's complicated.
I guess for normal people, it's like for people like us, if we don't know, if we have like emotions that we want to let out, we go onto Instagram or we go onto Twitter and then we like just spew all the nonsense that we have that's going on in our brain, but you put it in a song.
Right.
So I guess, I mean, that's a gift for everyone else because we get to hear her music.
That's true. That's true. We're not complaining.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty cool, right?
How long does it take you though to actually, for example, if you're penning down your thoughts, is it like an immediate thing?
It definitely is. I write a song in like 15 minutes.
Oh my god.
But that's only because like the thing is I have to be really in the moment to write a song. Like if someone asked me, Andrea, write a song, I'll pay you like $1 million. I'll just sit there and I'll be like, no.
You gotta be in the mood, and then once you're in the zone, you're like all the way.
As soon as you write something that like a catchy verse and a catchy chorus, you got a song. So
I mean that's how everyone works, right? But like in Andrea's case, it kind of worked in her favor because look at her, she's like all over the world right now, touring with Sam freaking Smith.
I know.
It's okay. I had the same like reaction when I watched him live. I can't imagine how you've been feeling.
Amazing. I was like,
right. So okay, let's see. I want to know more about like your personal taste in music. So what do you listen to, or like what's currently on your playlist?
Definitely Sam Smith, obviously.
Of course.
I love James Bay and Ed Sheeran.
Yes.
I just love like the singer-songwriter vibes.
Right.
Those feels, because it's sort of the music that I want to create. Although I want to have my own like style.
Yeah.
My music has to sprout from somewhere, and I guess those are the people that I'd say like have influenced me. Just all the singer-songwriters.
Yeah, of course. Have you watched like James Bay or Ed Sheeran live before?
I saw Ed Sheeran live in Bangkok as his 16th birthday present, actually.
Oh, that's so cute.
I got to watch him live, and I have not yet seen James Bay, but that is definitely on my bucket list. Like, I need to
James
see him
Bay
one
is
day.
amazing live. I totally get why they're your influences because they're really phenomenal people. Yeah.
Definitely.
So, okay, moving on to your song. So, we know that you had just released a song called You.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
I think it came out last Friday.
It did, yes.
Yeah, it came out on Friday. I can't remember the date. I think it was 12th of October.
Yeah, Friday the 12th.
Yeah. Sure.
So, okay, tell us more about that. Like, what was the inspiration behind writing that song? And, like, is it based on a personal experience or what?
So, actually, funny story, it is about my best friend and her boyfriend.
Oh.
The same person I wrote Best Friend about.
Oh, yeah, she has a single called
Best
Her
Friend.
first single was called Best Friend as well. For anyone who does not know and is, like, listening in.
Yeah, so she moved away, and then she came back to visit, and she had a boyfriend, and she was in love with him, and I was like, what? Wow, that's incredible, because like when she was here, like she didn't have a boyfriend, she wasn't in love, and so she came back, and I was like, wow, like because I've never like experienced like what it's like to be in love, so I was like, this story of like my best friend and her boyfriend, like they're being so in love with each other, I'm like, wow, this is something that like I need to write a song about. So it's like it's sort of just a comment on her and her relationship with her boyfriend, but it's also what I think being in love is like and what it will be like for when I have a boyfriend, sort of. So yeah, so she came over, and then I was just like, okay, like throw me words that like reflect your boyfriend, and then she gave me a few words, and I sort of just transformed that into a song with like my idea of what it's like to be in love, and then it sort of came to this final song.
I see. It sounds like you were just living vicariously through her experience.
Yeah.
And wrote this song on her behalf, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, when I heard the song, I thought that like I felt a little bit like, you know, I felt the bittersweetness of it all.
Yeah.
Because it's like it's so sweet that it's a song about like, you know, falling in love with someone that
Right.
you really like
Yeah.
and all that. But then at the same time, I'm so single.
It's okay.
so like, you know, that feeling is so relatable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, so you mentioned earlier on that like, you know, you have all these influences like, you know, James Bay, Ed Sheeran and all that, but how would you describe your sound and how would you determine the sound that you want to put out?
I want to produce like music that just reflects me as a person and just like my voice.
Mm-hmm.
So I sort of want my sound to be obviously like really chilled and like, you know, laid back depending on the song that I produce. But I also want my voice to be the star of the song because I don't really want it to be like filled with a bunch of instruments. Like, of course, you has a bunch of like, you know, drums and guitar, but at the end of the day, I can say that you can hear my voice, and I want someone to turn on the radio without even knowing like who's singing, but identify my voice, if that makes sense. Like, I want my voice to be really raw and unique and authentic.
Is that kind of thing where if I turn on the radio and I hear you, I would definitely know it's by Andrea.
Yeah, like you say, yeah, that's Andrea, instead of saying, oh, I'm not sure who that artist is. So I try to keep my voice as raw and natural as I can, especially when I perform on stage. I want someone to say, wow, it sounds like it's being recorded, you know, like on stage. I want to portray the naturalness.
I mean, I watched you live, so I can say that right now. I can vouch for that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So there's also a music video that's out for you, right? So you want to, like, to anyone who is watching this video and has not watched that video yet, like, could you give us a brief visual about what it's about?
Well, it first starts off with me sitting in a cafe, drinking some coffee, and then it's sort of like a flashback or like an image of me, like, commenting on what it's like to be in love. So it's sort of like, it can be interpreted in two ways, because obviously there's a couple and it's them being in love. So in a way it's like me thinking about what it's like to be in love. And it's also just me commenting on a relationship, which is exactly what the song is about, because it's got a double meaning to it. And then it just shows me in different like spots in Singapore. For example, we were in the park, and then we're in the middle of the city, and I wanted to just incorporate all the different like landscapes Singapore has to offer, because Singapore is such a beautiful country. I wanted everyone that is not in Singapore to see how beautiful and amazing it is, so they can get their butt on a plane and go visit.
I actually wanted to ask you about that as well, because when I watched the music video, right, I was looking at it, I was like, oh, that's a really pretty that's a really pretty like place. Then I went, wait a minute, hold up, that looks so familiar. Wait, I've been there before. And then I saw that it was, it's part of Singapore. Like, you were along, like, one of the reservoir areas and stuff, and, like, the parks and everything. So, like, I mean, how did it feel, like, filming in Singapore? Especially, like, you know, I know Singapore, like what you said, Singapore is a beautiful city, definitely. But, like, it's so hot in here. It's so hot.
It is really hot, but I pushed through. And I don't think I would have filmed this video, like, in any other place other than Singapore. It's got such an amazing feel to it, and the people there are just so lovely. And even when I was like singing and strumming my guitar in the middle in front of the Marina Bay Sands area, everyone was staring at me, but they were smiling and they were like enjoying what I was doing. So I was like, wow, like I feel so loved here. Like it feels good. Like it was a really good idea that I filmed it in Singapore.
And the best part is that no one questions you. Like they don't. They'll just look at you and then they'll be like, oh, this girl is singing. Oh, she's got a really nice voice. At most, what they do, right? They take out their phones, they film you, and then they walk away.
Film me.
Or like
exactly. That's what they did, and they were just being so kind. And I had to stand there with my guitar singing, and I was like looking at them, and they were just smiling at me. So it was really nice.
That was a really pretty music video, though. Like it was very simple, but like it was at the same time, you know, it was very pleasant to watch. I don't know, what do you think? Did you watch it? I hope you did.
Yeah. I did. I liked it. But
thank you.
Yeah. But you didn't sweat throughout while you were performing. that was my only thing.
I like how this is your this is your point that you had to bring out
because
throughout
I
the
know
entire-
like the only thing I can say it's really nice, it's really good, and the landscapes, everything were beautiful. Everything she has already said and you have already said. So I was just thinking what happened behind the scenes.
Well, costume changes,
Right.
definitely.
Right.
A lot of deodorant and like antiperspirant and like
Oh yes.
hot, like cold towels. I mean,
Oh.
a lot of cold towels. I had like a mini fan with me.
Oh.
I had
Yeah,
someone, like,
because
fanning
as
me
You need
to make
that.
sure that I didn't sweat.
as
And I had a
Singaporeans
bunch
do.
of, like, makeup spray that like set your makeup. Which is, I didn't even know that existed, but it did.
Like
and then I
setting
got
spray, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that,
I
I mean,
had
setting spray is essential in Singapore because
That is
of this
true.
weather.
Oh yeah.
Or else your
So
makeup
hot.
is just going to melt right off your
It's
face.
gonna, it's gonna like,
Yeah.
sweat off your face.
Yeah, exactly. So, where do you see yourself in 5 years in terms of music?
Well,
Mm.
honestly, like, I don't look too much into the future because usually I do, but then it sort of like clouds my brain.
Mm-hmm.
So I sort of just try to live every day as it comes. But if I was, a musician and had the ability to continue pursuing music,
Mm-hmm.
I would love to be like on stage touring and just showing people my music.
Yeah, exactly what you're doing right now, right? But
Yeah,
like on a much
definitely.
larger scale. Next time you'll be
Hopefully.
headlining your own shows,
Hopefully,
right?
that'd
Hopefully,
be
fingers
great.
crossed for you. So, do you have
Thank you.
any like interesting projects coming up now that you have like two singles out? You know,
Yes.
possibly an EP or an album. Who knows?
Well, I'm actually currently in school. I'm in my last year of high school, so I'm sort of like
Oh.
balancing both like school and music.
Right.
But I have a bunch of songs that I've already like recorded and written, and hopefully by around like May or June, by the
Mhm.
time that I graduate,
Yeah.
I have an EP out.
Ooh,
so
yeah.
We hope so
It's
too.
just
Yeah,
when-
we will
it's just
keep
when I'm
a
gonna be
lookout for
releasing
it.
my songs. Thank you.
But I mean, the minute she said I'm still like in school and I
Yeah.
haven't graduated yet, I was like, right,
Oh, yeah.
right. She's 17.
Yeah.
I keep
Like,
forgetting.
I'm sorry that we keep mentioning it, but oh my god, like you
Yeah.
are amazing. Considering
Exactly.
that like you're so young and you've done
Yeah.
so much, and it's really admirable to see someone
Yeah.
pursue their passion from young and make sure they get their priorities
Right,
straight as
right,
well.
right, right.
Because obviously for you, like
definitely.
education is important as well.
Yeah.
Make sure you get
Definitely.
like graduate first, but at the same
Right.
time do what you love. Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
All right. So now that we've talked a bit
Mhm.
more about like we've already talked about music.
Mhm.
So before we end off this interview, let's like dig deep into about yourself.
Yeah.
Like okay,
Sure.
music aside,
Yeah.
what are some of your hobbies? Like, what do you do if you don't play music? If you don't
Right.
pick up the guitar?
I play football actually. I'm part of
Oh.
the football team.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
we love a
I love
sporty
football.
girl.
I love football. It's great. Like, it's good fitness,
Yes.
and you're with a bunch of your friends.
Right.
So like, there's nothing can go wrong with that
Right.
competition.
Now at this point, I'm just wondering, what do you not do?
I actually don't do a lot of things.
Really?
Like, music and sport are like music and football are my main things. I
Right.
also love baking,
Oh.
but everything else is sort of just like average. Like,
It's okay, good enough.
I mean, you've got enough on your plate anyway,
Yeah.
right?
thank you, thank you so much.
So, do you have any guilty pleasures?
Okay, there's two. Like, I love. Okay, no, there's three actually.
All right,
Like,
let
I
us know.
love eating chocolate. No, like not even like a little bit of chocolate, but like a lot of chocolate.
Okay.
When I eat like a family pack bag of chips, like I
Uh-huh.
will finish the whole thing within like 20 minutes.
Maybe back.
And I love singing
Family
in the
pack.
shower, like really out of key. Like the
No,
yeah, I love singing
no, but
out of
that's
key.
normal.
Like,
Everyone
Yeah,
does that.
yeah,
Everyone sings in the
yeah.
shower out of key. No, I'm
and
just
I try
thinking
to,
of.
like hit like the highest note that I can. Like I try to hit it, and it just cracks. And then my sister comes in, like, because my shower is like near her room. Then she
Uh-huh.
comes in, and she goes, "Andrea, shush." That was horrible. I'm like, okay.
I'm still thinking about that family pack
Right,
chocolate
right,
now
right.
because
It's like a massive bag of chips.
yeah,
Like,
exactly.
yeah, like the one you're meant to share with your family, but I just eat it on my own. Because when I'm like watching TV shows, I just get
Right,
some
right,
of that,
right.
and I'm like, oh, you might as well finish it because it's like so little left.
Yeah, because you're
And I
you're
just
almost
eat
at the end of the bag, right? You might as well.
Exactly. See?
So relatable.
Yeah.
Last question.
Mm-hmm.
Name us 5 things that you must have when you're on tour.
Okay, this is. hard one. Okay, firstly, it's my honey and lemon tea. Like, it's a drink, like, okay, I'm sure all singers can relate
Yes.
to, because a while back I had really bad tonsillitis, and I had to sing while I had tonsillitis, so then the only thing that, like, allowed me to sing was honey lemon tea, and even though I got my tonsils out, like, I still need it.
Yeah.
It's like safety, it's like, so honey lemon tea. Secondly is, like, a hoodie. Like, I need hoodie, like, no matter what, like, even though people are in my dressing room, I'm like, it's okay, I'm wearing my hoodie. Like, hoodies, like, they look nice. Thirdly, it's gotta be my phone, because I always like to, like, call my friends before I'm about to go on stage so they can hype me up.
Oh, that's so cute.
Like, they give me some words of wisdom, and they give me some moral support.
So instead of like those, you know how like all those international musicians, they always huddle up with their dancers and their band and everything. So you call your friends.
Oh yeah. I'm like, guys, you gotta hype me up. They're like, okay, Andrea, so you got this. You're gonna be great.
I would really like to like witness this in action.
That's so cute, right?
It's really funny.
Like all right, two more.
I'd say a bottle of perfume or like deodorant.
Right. Useful.
That is essential.
You gotta smell fresh like all the time.
True.
You know.
Especially when you're performing for thousands of people.
Exactly. You cannot smell bad. Like, and lastly, I'd like to bring like my laptop or a piece of like work to do.
Oh wow.
Because like it sort of like diverts my mind away from like it makes me like not think about like music for a while. I'm like, oh, I have so much work to do. And then when like, because I like to tackle things like head on.
Yeah.
So as soon as I'm called for music, okay, I'm ready. Like my mind switches. So instead of like sitting there constantly thinking about like having to perform and like being nervous, I do work, and it kills two birds with one stone.
Right.
I get my work done. So it's sort of like, see, I'm doing fine in school, and then I get to perform like after. So it's doing, I'm balancing it.
You're juggling it really well. I mean,
Thank you.
if I were to go on tour, like go everywhere, I'm gonna bring my laptop with me, but then at the same time, I'm just gonna be, do I really have to do that now?
Yeah, that's me. But then I realized, oh, Andrea, you have a few deadlines due. You better hurry up.
All right.
Plus, if I get to do my work fast, I get to watch my TV shows and eat my chocolate and chips. Like,
that is true.
And you can go on stage without worrying about that deadline that you're supposed to finish like a few hours ago.
Exactly. See.
All right. Thank you so much for calling in. We know you've been all over the place, so you're probably tired, probably just at home resting before the next show, actually, right? So, okay, before we end off, can you tell our viewers where we can find you on social media?
Well, I'm on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter, and Instagram. My Instagram is AndreaH.music.
All right.
My Twitter is AndreaMusic without, like, any dots or anything.
Okay.
My YouTube is also AndreaMusic.
Okay.
Which helps. And my Facebook is Andrea.live.
All right.
It's more confusing for anybody.
All right. Well, we'll add like a caption right now over here at the bottom of the screen, so that anyone who's watching this video, you please, go and follow Andrea, because she's got some sick music and she's got more stuff coming up. So you got to make sure that you keep up with her.
Right.
And if you're watching like Instagram stories, your friends are overseas or whatsoever, they're at the Sam Smith concert, she's gonna be there too.
28th of October, guys.
28, 29.
28 or 29?
28.
Oh, 28. Oh, I messed up. Sorry.
It's okay. Yeah.
So, all right. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Oh,
See
no.
you
Did
guys.
it See you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Radio Pulse.
The sound of NUS.